what's happening? This is Joshua Buatsi and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Now, this is a very interesting question and a very interesting debate. And to be honest, I'm not really confident of either answer as to who is the bigger star globally between Anthony Joshua and Saul Canelo Alvarez. But Joshua Buatsi, he seems to think that Anthony Joshua is. Is he being a little bit biased because Anthony Joshua manages him? Potentially, maybe, who knows. But he is backing up some of the things that he says by saying that Anthony Joshua sells out stadiums. Saul Canelo Alvarez does not. Okay. Now, Canelo, he does have the advantage being in America because it's a country that's several times bigger than the UK. So that's more people, more opportunity to fill out arenas and stadiums. But if you're just looking at stadiums, Canelo, he fought Liam Smith at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, which is the same arena as Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. and Mike Garcia, they put on, was it 42,000 people? Both of them are pretty decent draws in themselves. Canelo against Liam Smith, unheard of in America, I would imagine, put 50,000 in the same stadium. That was back in 2016. But Canelo, he does predominantly fight in Las Vegas. Why? Purely because of the slot machines. On fight weekend, the fighters, the people involved in the boxing get a cut of the slot machines and the gambling and all that kind of thing. So that's where the money is. That's why Floyd Mayweather would always base himself in Vegas, because he makes more money. So it isn't really feasible in some ways for Canelo to go fight in a stadium and leave Las Vegas. He's not going to be any financially better off or worse off, I would imagine. They'll probably like equal themselves out in some ways. But Joshua, he does sell out stadiums in a country that's far smaller than America, a country that's far smaller than Mexico. So yeah, I mean, Joshua is at a disadvantage of that one. And I know that a lot of Americans and that will say, well, boxing is really, really popular in the UK because we don't have too many sports. Well, we do have a lot of sports. And I can pretty much guarantee you that boxing is not at the top end of that. Football, soccer, if you like, is by far number one by some distance. I'll probably go as far as to say that Formula One probably draws in a bigger numbers. Darts, I mean, I can't, for me, I don't watch darts, but that outdoes boxing. And many other sports do as well. Tennis at Wimbledon outdoes boxing. But either way, as far as putting people into arenas and stadiums, Joshua is the number one in the UK by some distance. Who's number two in the UK is difficult to say. I mean, I know that would be between quite a few. Amir Khan, potentially. Would Kell Brook be in there? I'm not too sure. Dillian White, of course, he sold out the O2 Arena on his last couple. Tyson Fury, potentially, maybe. Who knows? But either way, Joshua is miles ahead right now. Such is his popularity. But is he more popular worldwide than Canelo? Difficult to say. I said, so I'll put the article in the description box for Joshua Buatsi, where he says that he feels that Anthony Joshua, because of the numbers, because of the fact that Joshua sold just on the gate 300,000 tickets in his last 4 fights. Now, he didn't sell out Wembley last time against Azan Povetkin, which is 90,000. I think he put in there just shy of 80,000 or 81,000, something like that. But a lot of that was down to the fact that the council put on coach tickets. Not too many people want to travel with other people and strangers that they don't know. They'd rather make their own way there and their own way back. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough tickets for that because they put on so many damn coach events, which was ridiculous. But he does sell out the Principality Stadium in Cardiff, Wales. He did sell out Wembley Stadium against Klitschko. His argument, would he have sold out against Big Baby Jarrell Miller? I would imagine so, which to be honest, does make you wonder why he wanted to fight in Madison Square Garden. But hey, listen, it is what it is. But for me, and it's just my opinion, I think that Joshua in the UK exceeds every fighter on the planet, okay, when it comes to the UK. Canelo in America, Mexico, and that, of course, he outdoes Joshua right now. I mean, who's to say? I mean, maybe Joshua may overtake him. Who knows? Maybe Canelo will go even further ahead. Difficult to say. But Canelo is by far the biggest boxer, the biggest draw in the United States of America and certainly Mexico as well. Probably followed by maybe a Manny Pacquiao, a Adrian Broner potentially as well. Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. I mean, there's quite a few. Errol Spence, of course, Mikey Garcia. Listen, them two drew a pretty decent crowd. It's a 100,000 stadium in Texas, but putting in 40,000 plus is pretty decent. I'll say probably one of the worst ones, especially for champions, is Wilder. Let's be honest. You know, he couldn't sell out a discotheque. He's absolutely terrible at selling tickets. He really is. But I think Canelo is by far number one. So in America, Canelo is far ahead of Joshua right now. In the UK, Joshua is far ahead of Canelo. But that's not to say that if Canelo come to the UK, would he sell out arenas? I would imagine he probably would, to be fair. Would he sell out stadiums? It's difficult to say. I think he'd need a decent opponent to do that. And doesn't necessarily have to be British, but a decent opponent. So him versus Triple G, potentially, maybe, I don't know, because I think a lot of people would turn up for that kind of fight. But on a global scale, it's difficult. It's really, really difficult to gauge. I mean, obviously, in Nigeria and certain parts of Africa, Joshua is super popular over there. So, I mean, I do fully expect Joshua to fight in Nigeria at some point, especially Nigeria, but certainly parts of Nigeria or maybe Dubai and that as well, going like a little bit further into like the Middle East and other places like that. So I do expect Joshua to travel around. I don't expect Canelo to. I think Canelo, he likes Las Vegas. So, but either way, it's an interesting debate. Of course, do drop your thoughts below. Have a little read of the article as well. I'll put that in the description box, where Joshua Buatsi believes that Anthony Joshua is a bigger star in world boxing than Saul Canelo Alvarez. Anyway, you drop your thoughts below about it. Click the thumbs up to this video and, of course, subscribe. Catch you all on the next one.